To put it mildly, yes. Though we weren't counting on you all returning so quickly.
Late last night, an orb mail came in from Agnes and Ren saying they were back in the capital. But when they didn't respond to us all morning, alarm bells started going off in our heads.
That's right. Just have a look for yourself.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. No interference, even while under shard soundproofing. All right, this should do. Sorry, Odette. You too, Albert. I did try to send this directly to Van at first. But the main channels around the capital are completely blocked off, so I decided to use a land bypass instead. Please deliver this video to Van and them if possible. They should be arriving from Anchorville right about now. For the moment, try visiting Monmar in the 8th District. Oh yes, and let me give you the address of his go-to informant. At the moment, I'm being confined in a corner of the presidential office. But although they've placed me in a room devoid of any terminals or network access, it does have, if nothing else, a security camera. And thanks to a little trick I had up my sleeve, I was able to hijack it and send you this message. Oh, and don't worry, no one's been rough with me in the slightest. They even provided me with a luxurious breakfast this morning. In all likelihood, they're planning to set me free just as soon as this afternoon's rocket launch has concluded. My apologies, though. I was separated from Agnes and Dominique last night. It seemed as though they had some sort of discussion with the president, but I wasn't able to catch it on the interior surveillance system. Also, while I hate to say this where Judith can hear, there's definitely something going on with Dominique. Judging by a rather disquieting exchange between her and Kincaid, could it be that she has a connection to Professor Hamilton? What's more, those white replicas are apparently the professor's work. I'm still wrapping my head around it, but it must be doubly hard on you, Katra. Now, on to the main concern. I don't believe Agnes has been taken very far away. To start, the president has no plans to leave Edith. That would suggest he is seeing his plans through from somewhere in the vicinity. You may think, if not here in the presidential office, then perhaps the ruling party's headquarters, or else the capital's garrison, which you've previously visited. Wrong on both counts. It's bound to be a confidential location beyond the likes of either of those. For example, a place easily accessible from the head of state's official residence and capable of sustaining attacks from weapons of mass destruction. Ah, here's a shot in the dark. Maybe the presidential office has an underground sector of sorts. I doubt I can keep the wool pulled over their eyes for much longer, so this'll have to end here. Be seeing you soon. Oh, and don't forget the birthday party arrangements. Agnes's presents won't get themselves.
It's a little early, but lunch is ready.
I ordered something quick and filling to eat. Can't head into battle with no fuel in the tank.
We asked them to make enough to go around, so feel free to have as much as you want.
Never seen you rush out this soon after coming home. But I can tell it's for a good reason. No sense holding you up with my rambling then. Dinner will be on the table tonight too, so you best not miss it.
Got it. Appreciate you looking out for us.
We'll make sure to bring our appetites.
You've got something special cooking to commemorate the launch, right? Can't wait to see how it pairs with a nice stiff drink.
I'm still a little concerned about Yorda, but she does seem to be looking healthier now. As I said this morning, though, don't go pushing yourself too hard. Can you promise me that?
Fine, whatever. And, thanks again.
You're very welcome. And thank you to Elaine for looking after her.
Not at all. She's been a great asset to us in return.
Yume and I will be heading out soon, but don't be afraid to call if anything comes up, okay? I'd also like to settle on a time for Agnes's birthday party sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely.
Assuming we're fast enough, you'll be able to ask her yourself this evening.
I shall assist however I can as well, once a decision is reached.
Count me in too. With her school friends on the guest list, it'll probably be a full house.
Van?
What's wrong, Yumes?
Oh, nothing. It's just, you still haven't figured out a present for Agnes yet, right? I'll help you pick something, but you gotta come back so we can go together.
Sounds good to me. We can even load your bicycle up in the truck and bring it with.
Yeah.
Not much longer now.
Excuse me, Van? Sorry to ask while your hands are so clearly full, but mind if we chat a bit?
Aaron, catch. Long as it's quick. Could have sworn you were supposed to be in Tharbad, though.
The event ended yesterday, so I caught an airliner back here this morning. The thing is, well, I'm just about to go to a launch viewing in the 3rd District with Yume and Paulette. She and Victor already gave me their blessings on this, but basically I plan on telling Yume about me being her father today. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, though. What do you think? Is it too soon?
I'd say it's a great idea. You go for that gold, Mr. Champ.
Hey! Albert! Odette!
Oh, thank goodness! You were able to meet up with the Spriggan!
Give me a break. You don't get to act all surprised after that call you made right before we boarded the train.
The way you pretended everything was fine just made it even more obvious it wasn't.
That's why, after discussing between ourselves, the 3 of us decided to cancel our trip. We figured that maybe there was something we could do to help.
Then they came to hound me about it, so I went ahead and brought them here. Could be they're just not willing to turn their backs on this.
I know I can't when it comes to Ren.
Well, duh! Agnes and us are tight! Just think of how hard we worked on the school festival together!
Oh, Lyle. You weren't even on the festival committee. I guess being classmates gives you an in, though.
We'll stay out of this if you don't need any more hands on deck, but otherwise, all you have to do is give the word.
Finally! Thought I'd never get through. Just made off toward Longline last I heard. She figured she wouldn't be able to get in touch with you anymore, so here I am to pass her message along. Name's Yona Sacred, Deputy Development Chief at the Epstein Foundation's Crossbell branch.
Even should you forge ahead into the 9th domain, you will find that its innermost depths have already been sealed off. For Professor Novartis, you see, has sequestered himself within to conduct his final analyses on the Abyss's contents. That key, however, can be used to open the forbidden door, though doing so will like as not require the aid of the Foundation.
Might as well, if we're already teaming up in the real world. Waiting around by myself would be kinda boring. Plus, my bit as a guardian's done, so I've got no more orders on that end. Feels a little weird logging in as part of the hero party, though. Sure, whatever. You clearly need the help.
The time is 12 o'clock sharp on July 12th. We're coming to you live with our special pre-launch report on Project Startaker, the event all of Calvard, let alone Zemuria, has been waiting for.
Boy, can you believe how quickly it's come? To think the schedule was officially moved up only 5 days ago. I'll tell you though, all the anticipation this past week has had me feeling giddy as a school kid again.
Well, you aren't alone there. I feel just the same way. Now then, with history's first manned rocket launch less than an hour away, let's have a look at the scene on site.
Excuse me. I'm Nate from the Sidon Station of the Edith Police Department. We received a report moments ago of several suspicious hooded individuals approaching this area. I'm not sure that's...
Please, listen to him! Those people didn't look anything close to normal!
No way they were even human! We just saw them and... there they are now!
Sweet mother of...
Take heed! You who would be party to these false designs! Continuing to avert the eyes of the people shall never conceal the truth.
Will do, sir. All right, guys, you're coming with me.
Sure thing. Get us away from here, detective.
This is all too much. I can't take it anymore.
Kitty engine engaged. Security systems hacked and infiltrated.
Spoofed footage successfully swapped in.
Ren's little proteges don't disappoint. All right, Van. You dears are all clear.
Oh, there you all are. Right when I expected, too. Hold on. Just give me a moment to tidy the last of this up.
Elegance is a lost art, it seems. Your turn, Potter Mater.
As you command, Ren. Security bypassed. Classified gate to underground control center of Presidential Office unlocked. Incursion recommended at the earliest opportunity.
This was simply me helping myself to Retzi and Walter's astral accounts. Even in a closed environment like this, with the right know-how, I can still connect to the system. Both her and Dominique, yes. Thank you all for coming to my rescue. Our time is at a premium, though. I've yet to gauge the President and Mr. Kincaid's aims or intentions in this, but for reasons I can only assume concern the space program, they've confiscated the octogeneses from Agnes. You bet your sweet Bippy. My adorable underclassman deserves no less.
Subduing you by ambush was never the intent.
Kincaid cautioned us about this, but not once did we think you'd actually show up.
Yep, a roster of pros across the board. Makes me feel bad, cutting them down to size.
Huh? It's the Divine Blade of Silver!
Second form, 99 Gales!
Impossible. When did you get behind us?
Oh, I was there from the start. Waiting around since morning was a real slog. Sorry for the surprise attack, though. I've only got so much time to waste is all. How's about we do some joint training next time? Make it a fair fight.
Take a hike.
Well, you heard him. Down we go.
Down we go, she says.
I heard this lady was over the top, but not by this much.
Those soldiers weren't the only ones blown away.
Where do we even start with this? You've seriously been sitting there twiddling your thumbs all morning?
And in the first place, wasn't your corps supposed to be working with the president?
I was given to understand that they were fortifying their position in the Longlie area.
Not to mention, that's where your master is headed, no?
Yup. Sure, it would have been nice to have another duel to the death against Reen in the land where the heavens turn. But he and Master Kafai haven't seen each other for so long. Probably not the time to be butting in, you know? So instead, I skipped out and entrusted my duties as second-in-command over to Kuragane. Above all, with the moment of fate drawing ever closer, I'd much rather spend my time with you guys. Not as a member of Ikaruga or a Divine Blade, but as a temporary part-timer at Arkride Solutions. Shizuna.
So Miss Mizurugi shares my sentiments.
Feels like we're missing some key bits of backstory here, but if you're that bent on this, I can't do jack to stop it. Welcome to the team. Just let us in on whatever you know along the way, yeah?
Your wish is my command. Huh, that was faster than I expected.
There they are! Hercules is down!
Blast! Where'd they break in from?
Seems they saw through our ruse too quickly.
Even still, I think it bought us enough time.
Agreed. This could simply be the efficacy of Renee's command at work.
Emergency response protocols always were his forte.
Regardless, this is a bit of a fix. We may have them outskilled, but we can each only handle so many.
Well, it kind of undoes my whole heartfelt plea just now, but I can stay and hold them.
Nah, just leave this one to me.
Now hold on a second.
Busting us in here was enough to pay off my 4SPG on its own, if you ask me. Still, I'll be nice and keep these guys busy, as a last-minute tip.
Scoundrels! Don't let them escape!
But what about that shadow, sir?
And we can't just open fire on a kid!
What, do you think I can't handle this? Get over it and scram already. I'll make a break for it myself once you're gone. Besides, you've got her birthday to celebrate, right?
Fine. Just don't bite off more than you can chew.
Be safe, Yorda.
We'd better see you at the party too.
Damn it! They're getting away as we speak!
We need to push through, even if it means shoving her aside.
In case it wasn't obvious, you're up against Enforcer 20B of Ouroboros, the Shadow Eater. I just got one last assignment from my part-time gig, stopping you in your tracks.
So you don't have a clue what the space program's true goals are either, huh?
Afraid not. All we've got is that its actual name is Project Leviathan. Though it's a fair bet that Hermes, Major Amelia rather, and that new Excalibur assault frame are the keys to its success. See, the plan calls for the world's strongest, both in terms of combat ability and endurance, in the context of fighting in the zero gravity of space.
We did know that Major Amelia would be going up in the latest assault frame model for today's launch.
Yeah, and that they capped off its dev with a toe-to-toe clash against Armbrust and the Empire's Divine Blade.
The only question is, what do they need all that battle and staying power to go up against?
One of Marduk's earlier satellites, Prometheus 2, operated only in very low orbit, just barely within the atmosphere. Whereas Prometheus 4, launched in May, was the first to exit the atmosphere and reach outer space. Having said that,
one can only assume they are in some way concealing, or perhaps disguising certain data being received from it. For example, the existence of a foe that required the presidential office and the aerospace force to forge the mightiest blade in history.
Leviathan, though. They must have gotten that name from the mythical sword.
As they did with the Excalibur. The implication, then, is that there's something out in space that requires a weapon of legendary proportions to defeat.
How much do SC and Mr. Jiskar know about this? Nothing more than the specs and general outline, surely. Professor Cronkite is the sole engineer who'd be privy to all the details.
So it seems. Though shouldn't that grandma of yours have the full scope too? Why else would she be making outside the rulebook plays left and right?
Well, no matter how off the wall this foe probably is, our top priority is getting Agnes back, followed by those stolen Genesis. By the way, Shizuna, I know you coached Hermes in battle tactics, but ain't there somebody else who falls under the label of strongest the world's ever seen? I'm talking the only guy outside of the Sword Hermit who might be a match for you right now.
You mean...
I see. It does follow, logically speaking.
Here's our stop. What say we go see if your hunch is right?
Wow. Just imagine how much construction this took.
It must have been deemed necessary in order to repel whatever threat from outer space they're expecting. Or so I presume.
Makes sense. You think that's the same reason they got their divisions and air fleets lined up for those quote-unquote mock exercises?
Yes. This is also likely where my employer's resources have been focused all this time.
We have company!
One of Marduk's combat mechs? A Musha model at that.
And those orbital drones are the same as the ones Mirabelle and Mr. Thorndyke were using.
Warning. Access beyond this point is restricted. Please direct all inquiries to the Marduk Total Security Company. You will now be forcibly removed from the premises.
Here they come, guys.
Deploy shards when you see fit.
Well, that's about as good a sign as any that the cream of Marduk's crop is up ahead. This is basically a given too, but maybe Sir Strongest the world's ever seen is with him, like you mentioned.
Considering the importance of this facility, we can't deny the possibility. And if he is present, then she will be too.
Well, it won't hurt to keep an eye out for them and Thorndyke. Far as the CID goes, though, Renee's pretty much guaranteed to be down here.
Even more so if this is where the president's holed himself up.
There's also a chance we'll run into more Hercules members. Even if they're not from the Alpha unit, they could still prove a real handful playing defense.
New machinery may turn up as well, like the Musha model and drones from just now. On top of that, we don't know how far this place extends. Nothing for it but to roll up our sleeves, though.
That's enough running our mouths, then. We've got a little Miss Hostage to pick up.
Yeah, whatever's weighing her down, it's our job to help her shoulder it.
Doubtless there are none other than all of you who could succeed in doing so.
Indeed. Now, the time is 12:15, so we haven't much longer before the launch.
Might need to let that part go, push comes to shove. Making sure we find Agnes comes first and foremost.
Right!
So you came after all.
Not that it's any real surprise. At least you can say you're sticking to your guns. The fact remains that we're keeping civilians under false imprisonment, even if one of them's the president's daughter.
In that respect, it's the CID that's changed its tune. We might have had more principles back when we were operating undercover as spies in the Empire. That's part of it. But my brother and I owe President Gramhart a lot for all he's done for us. Such as overlooking how we were manipulated back during the illusory coup, for starters.
As much as I hold former President Rocksmith in high regard, a debt is a debt. And I have to admit, President Gramhart is an incredible man. The more I worked with him, the surer I grew that he isn't acting out of self-interest. It's for that reason that I asked Division Chief Keelika to serve as Mr. Rocksmith's bodyguard in my absence.
That's right. We'll do everything in our power to stop you. I won't claim we're in the right here. In the end, that's just a matter of perspective.
We're the Republic civil servants and her soldiers. So long as that's true, there's no cause to falter.
We simply follow the leader elected by the people and carry out our duty to protect national security.
That we did. He drilled the basics of localized warfare right into our heads. And now, it's the end of the road for you, Spriggan.
Troops, formation Delta! Let's bring a swift end to this.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am!
To improve.
Curses!
We just can't measure up to them. And not just in terms of strength.
You have us beat. In will and determination too, probably. No matter how much respect I hold for President Gramhart, that project of his just has too many unknowns. That's right. Mr. Kincaid is likely the only one in the CID who does. Maybe those of you who have some history with him will find a way to get through to the man. Yup. They're being held on floor L3, down below, in a rest area off to one end. Once you've safely completed your rescue, get some answers out of the President and the others.
Hey there. Been a bit, huh? Well, a few hours anyway.
Great. It figures you're next.
Looks like we're not the only ones playing workhorse.
Tell me about it. This whole ordeal's driving us both into and under the ground. And that grimy-hearted general manager's to blame for the lot of it. Maybe you and me should go give him a piece of our minds, huh, Reset?
Mirabelle.
I'm counting 8. No, 10 plus, maybe?
She's a stealth shard user. Not to mention, a top-class Marduk concierge.
Being Reset Senior in supportive services, her prowess as a tactical operator is surely exceptional.
I'm all for giving Thorndyke a piece of my mind too, but how's about we sort out where each of us stands right now? Our gang's here to break Agnes and Dominique out of custody.
And you're the watchdog they posted to keep us away. That sound about right?
Well, doesn't leave much room for me to lighten the mood when you cut to the chase like that. Still, you hit the mark. This is all on the President's orders. Keep the both of them shut away here till Project Leviton's squared away. That's what he said. Though in Dominique's case, it was more of a while we're at it sort of deal.
Which means Agnes really does have some connection to the space program's true objective.
Are the Genesees a part of that? Or does this concern Agnes herself?
Can't imagine it doesn't, given how those things only seem to react to her, but no one's told me one way or another. And my money says both Qasim over in the Central Sector and Mr. Thorndyke, who ain't even here, don't know much more themselves.
In a way, it may well be a good thing the General Manager is absent.
My brother, though. He really is behind those doors then.
Bingo. Along with Mr. President's spectacled sidekick. There are some other temp staffers in the mix too, but nobody y'all need on your radar.
Would you look at that?
Those annoying-ass battle drones. Don't tell me. They're customized for your use, huh?
Mm-hmm. These little fellas are synced to my spiritual signature and tailored for improved responsiveness. That makes them compatible with not just SCLMs and ZOCs, but blitzes too. It's 10 versus 11. And don't think having a pack of powerhouses on your side will make getting past me any easier.
I expect we're in for a demonstration on the pinnacle of shard combat.
We've got Theo and Zeros with us too, though, so you'd better make that 12 versus 11.
Shifting to battle-ready mode. Initializing analysis.
Before we jump into this, let me ask one thing. Marduk's newest techs made getting here a real handful and a half. The recent shard and AR updates, the constant tactical advancements, one after another. Sure, we've been putting them to use ourselves, but ain't these breakthroughs coming too fast to be true?
Oh.
He has a point.
The Tech Union has raised that same concern.
To be fair, orbital developments as a whole have always been zooming along at speeds that fly in the face of all reason. In just under 60 years, we've reached the point of computer networking and sending people into space.
That may simply be man's potential at play. One might even call it karma, the results of our actions. Aside from that, there's also a theory that the mere existence of artifacts is what inspired people to invent this technology.
I see. Even if you don't comprehend its underlying principles, just witnessing a phenomenon would be enough to sow the seed.
It is humanity's nature to strive for replication within the framework of feasible technology. That's something Gran once said to me.
I think I get it. Even if it doesn't really agree with the Kruger's views.
But those explanations don't cut it in this case, do they?
Nope. Truth be told, the stuff I'm talking about is on the same level of impossible as those vestiges. Just like...
Like my very being, you mean? Compared to the simulacra created during the Retributive Tower incident, my body lies on another dimension entirely. Modern engineering is not yet capable of grafting machinery to a human reduced to nothing more than their brain and central nervous system. And yet, I alone am a living example of exactly that. Does this not mean that Marduk's myriad technological feats bear some relation to me?
Reset,
That's...
Before I answer that question, something went down over in Anchorville this morning, didn't it? I haven't gotten the lowdown yet, so tell me, just what in the world did y'all see out there?
For a split second, we found ourselves lost in a ruined version of City Hall. It was as though several decades had passed all at once. Not in AR or VR, but reality itself. What's more, the sight filled me with an unbearable sense of nostalgia.
Reset. Nostalgia?
Now I understand.
This here is classified intel, but I guess its subject herself has a right to hear it. There's no question, Reset, that where you came from is something not even Marduk has made heads or tails of. 7 some odd years ago, our risk management AI pointed us toward the frontiers of central northern Zemuria. Left behind in a field there was a life support pod built with technology both unidentified and unimaginable by modern standards. And connected to that partially wrecked pod was you, Reset, around the age of 14 or so. The device got hauled back to HQ in Orid and repaired enough to stay online somehow. And despite you being near 90% disembodied, we managed to link you to our systems, wake you up, and start rehabilitation. And, well, you know how it goes from there. Though there is one bit I neglected to mention. That life support pod you were in, it had a factory mark engraved on it. A mark that listed out the time and place it was made. And you know what it said? S1259, Anchorville.
1259?
If it's 1209 right now, then... Wait!
That's a whole 50 years ahead.
Reset, what does this mean?
In other words, that life support pod was a giant hunk of future technology.
As well as the fountainhead of Marduk's technological innovations.
Yes, all the dots are lining up.
Thank you, Mirabelle. While the memories yet escape me, I now have crystal clarity on a great many things.
I didn't do anything worthy of thanks. Now, back to business. This girl's got a job to do. I'll be pulling out every dirty trick in the trade, so don't say I didn't warn ya.
Just try it.
Be wary of how those machines form up and work together.
Commencing risk management by nobody's judgment but my own.
Oh, phooey. Ain't that just the way it goes?
Mirabelle!
You really are too soft for your own good. It's enough to worry me silly. Oh, well, not like I didn't know doing all this would leave me spent and barely slow y'all down. Agnes and Dominique are all the way in the back. Best get a move on and put 'em at ease.
Yeah, will do.
I'll go on ahead. And yes!
Here comes my chance to lord it over Grammy for once.
You know, you can just admit you're relieved.
Don't lag behind, you guys!
I'll be just fine. Besides, we still got a lot of talking to do.
Let us postpone that for another time, when we may speak more at leisure, both about what's happened so far and what lies ahead. Right now, however, the only thing I want to do is thank you.
There you go again.
Then, we have a bit of an unexpected problem.
Huh?
There are no secret passages out, far as I can tell.
I distinctly sensed a presence beforehand, too.
That can't be right.
How in the fresh hell?
Van, we can't find Agnes anywhere.
I can't find Grammy either. Is this really the right place?
What?
You pulling our legs?
Hey! You're gonna want to see this!
There's no message attached. But this card is Grammy's, no two ways about it. The only thing is, why is it white?
This was the room. Cross my heart. Agnes and Dominique were in here no more than an hour ago.
I'm in. Here's the surveillance footage from about 30 minutes prior.
That's enough running our mouths, then. We've got a little Miss Hostage to pick up.
Yeah, whatever's weighing her down, it's our job to help her shoulder it.
Doubtless there are none other than all of you who could succeed in doing so.
Indeed. Now, the time is 12:15, so we haven't much longer before the launch.
Might need to let that part go, push comes to shove. Making sure we find Agnes comes first and foremost.
Looks like Arkwright and your friends broke their way in without any trouble. The man has a premium team of assistants, Judith aside. They may even get here before the launch. Are you sure you're okay with this?
Yes. It feels awful, leaving just as they arrive. But I've already made up my mind. I'll probably have to brace for a good wallop or two if things end up working out. Better that than a slap, ideally. The shock might be more than I could take.
If that's the worst it gets, just turn the other cheek. Odds are, he'll follow up with a hug.
Oh, I highly doubt that. Though, maybe there'll be a chance.
I couldn't say, but it's a comforting thought. Keep that hope close until the final bow.
Huh? What just happened there? And that white compact?
It's the thing that transforms you into a phantom thief, right? Or, well, a replica of it anyway.
They employed the same vanishing act the Vestiges use. A limited space-time leap, I believe it was.
Then Gran must have given that compact to Dominique, just like she did the other replicas.
Back up a second. Where did Agnes end up after that?
She was weirdly chill that whole conversation. Probably the opposite inside, though.
Yes. I could see a steeled resolve in her eyes. But resolve to do what?
Dear oh dear. So Agnes up and went, did she? A spanner in the works, that Dominique. And after I already told her we won't need the professor's plan. But no matter. After all, there's little they can do without the original Ocgenesis. I'll leave her to keep my daughter protected.
Gramhart. We know you're there, Mr. President. Now make with the explanation. What's Agnes up to? What's she trying to achieve?
My sincerest commendations for you and your associates' efforts, Mr. Arkwright. Though it won't make up for your wasted effort in coming here, I invite you to meet with me directly if you'd like.
The bulkhead to the central sector is now unsealed. At this stage, we can afford you VIP seating to behold Project Leviathan in its totality. Be prepared, however, should you decide to come. All the more if you're loath to accept what you learn.
Sakes alive. I just don't get what they're up to. So, what's your next move?
Ain't it obvious? We're making for that central sector.
To Mom!
I'm glad Agnes is okay, but that alone won't be enough to satisfy us anymore.
At this point, I refuse to settle for anything less than a comprehensive picture of the space program's agenda.
Yes, as well as whatever it is the professor's group is working toward.
Oh, dang it all, Grammy! Why'd you have to do us like this?
There's no talking us out of this one. Even with that wise guy Four Eyes and the strongest ever on their side.
That part just makes tagging along extra worth it in my book.
Let us return at once and make our final preparations then.
We must be off, Mirabelle. Please, give yourself the rest you need to recover.
I hear ya. But a word of warning. Kincaid and Qasim won't be the only heavy hitters they have in store. Now get out there and give 'em hell, Arkride Solutions!
Yeah, with the launch around the corner, crap's hitting the fan all over the place. But forget that. Our chief finished analyzing a portion of that black wall just now. Yeah, she whipped out her trump card, the Aeon system, and went whole hog with it. Pretty much left her running on fumes. Anyway, the point is this might actually get you somewhere. But check it out if you can, yeah?
That's right. This here's where it gets real. The deepest point is still a ways in. Yep, I won't lie. Your payoff for all of this might end up amounting to zip. But it should at least shed some extra light on the truths you're about to see on the surface. I'll have to say goodbye to you and your friends for a while, though, this time around. This isn't much of a going away present, but think of it as one last favor from me.
Huh? You guys? That fairy called out to me, and next thing I knew... Yeah, I just managed to shake off the soldiers and meet up with the students.
Intervention detected. Agnes Claudel has been re-registered in the Foundation's avatar system.
I keep telling you not to call me. Oh, forget it. Be seeing you, Van. Promise me that you'll stick to your ways till the very end. Or even beyond, wherever that may take you.
Oh, excellent! Excellent! At last, the chest that the Marduk Company, or should I say, the chest that the 5 houses of Valis preserved, modeled after the goddess's treasure. Oh, it may well prove the sole gratifier of my thirst for knowledge, my inquisitive mind, my very raison d'etre. Roughly 2,000 hours now. No matter how nigh infinite the time perceived, cerebrophysiology has its limits. Even still, usurping this castle has allowed me to throw myself into research like never before in all my life. I stand corrected. Even this does not compare to those wondrous days I spent under his tutelage. Were they but a dream? No, they most definitively, unequivocally were not. I am, by all rights, far worthier to serve my illustrious mentor than those 3 so-called leading disciples. And now, by demystifying this inscrutable data, I shall prove that demonstrable fact once and for all.
Well, well. This research of yours is more intriguing than I took it for.
Oh, without question. It has me so short on hands, I'd welcome one from whatever the cat drags in. Just a single step further, however, and my analysis will reach fruition. Whereupon you, in particular, shall... Huh? What? How did all of you get in here?
Don't see what the fuss is about. You set up the goalposts and we cleared them.
Long time no see, Professor. It seems we've narrowly missed each other until now.
Yes, quite. Ever since the latest turmoil in Crossbell, as I recall. And the younger of the twins is here as well. Finally feeling inclined to assist in my inquiry, are we?
As if. How many times do I have to say no before you quit bugging me about it?
Then what reason, pray tell, have you to... Oh, wait. Answer the original question. Just how did you find your way into this place? By no possible means could you have penetrated the Darsh Cardeligan, my unassailable data barrier!
On the contrary, we broke through it perfectly fine with the Foundation's help.
Well, that and the key your underling gave us. Wait, crap. Were we keeping that off the record?
Underling? Oh, you can't mean Simeon. Granted, his abilities would, in theory, make analysis feasible. Oh, as though any of that even matters. Don't I have enough personality defects to suffer in Harwood? What miserable excuse of a subordinate would permit you to obstruct me, his superior, whilst I am engaged in my work?
Such acts are precisely what enforcers are apt to do, from what we've gathered.
Besides, you're the one who went all in revamping this into one giant game, Gramps. In what world, real or virtual, is making it unwinnable at the last second gonna fly?
A salient point, F. Novartis. Perhaps you could stand to learn a lesson or two on integrity from the late Saintus.
Still your tongue! I'd have thought losing your stigma would dullon your bite. And yet, you and all those blasted pupils you've reared have done nothing but hinder our schemes both near and far.
What can I say? Master Bearguard always delivers.
His disciple in Class 7 is pretty incredible too, I hear. He's even said to have a distant connection to the Kruga.
You don't say. This is the Church's 8th Dominion we're talking about, right? If he's a friend of Reen's, that sparks my curiosity all the more.
I had the pleasure of meeting him once. For someone younger than I, he's quite composed and mature.
And more proactive about working with the guild than his fellow Dominions, by the sound of it.
Is there not a shred of urgency amongst you? This is no place for your placid chatter!
Oh, yeah? Then how's about you put a sock in it yourself and let us get on with the final boss fight? Oh!
Truth be told, the stuff you're looking into takes a backseat for us. Still, we're here on a mission. And that's returning the property you stole to its rightful owners.
I have to wonder what you could want out of data that's no more analyzable than an artifact. But we can ascertain the rights and wrongs of your intentions after our Forest PG is complete.
Crisis management intervention may be warranted, should they happen to involve forbidden technology.
Such as nuclear weaponry, for example? I'm not especially selective when it comes to technology, but neither do I hold much zeal for their practical applications.
You don't?
That may be so. Supposedly, he lost all interest in nuclear devices after successfully replicating one.
Indeed. The man may be twisted, but as a scientist, he's hardly what I'd consider complicated. No matter the technology, he's quick to patronizingly analyze, improve upon, and abandon it, in that order.
Sounds like second nature for a criminal big shot. Though it does come off as pretty unambitious. Feels to me like he shares that in common with those 3 famous disciples.
Don't you dare lump me in with their lot!
Whoa now. Don't go biting the new recruit's head off. Girl's young enough to be your granddaughter.
Yeah, keep it low-key, Professor. Your mad scientist shtick is more peak that way, remember?
Just as that girl Ulrika said. Wait, were you even there at the time?
What set that off? His mood flipped on a 10-mirror coin there.
Such has long been a tendency of his. He dislikes, or rather absolutely abhors being compared to the 3 disciples.
I see. But why react so strongly?
I suppose I cannot disparage Hamilton as bereft of initiative in light of her current efforts. And yet, the woman is in every respect deficient. Utterly, categorically, incontrovertibly deficient. Her aptitudes, whether innate or acquired, are overwhelmingly lacking in insight, discernment, and ingenuity. That someone so unqualified would presume to call themselves a student of C. Epstein's.
Huh?
Professor, what are you getting at?
This conversation ends now. Since you so insist on a final Guardian battle, I shall happily oblige. However, it may prove to be what one might call rigged against your favor.
Something's coming at 10 o'clock!
Holy mother of...
Shit! This thing looks more like a demon than a robot!
Different versions of that construct were deployed in Crossbell and the Empire.
You refer to the ions, yet that isn't one of the 3 variants confirmed thus far.
I heard about this after joining the Society. A successor model to types Alpha, Beta, and Gamma has been under development for the last few years.
Evidently. But there's something else about it.
It just doesn't get more thrilling than this.
Meet the Ion Type Epsilon, the line's latest edition, slated to make its imminent debut in the real world. Though originally intended for the designation of Delta, its performance exceeded expectations to the point where I opted to skip a letter. It is this machine that will serve as the final guardian of the Grim Garton's 9th domain. Do give it your very best effort. If nothing else, your probability of success ought to be greater than 0. In the meantime, I shall resume my analysis, and mayhaps even lend him a touch of support to boot.
Don't take us for easy pickings, you crusty old crackpot!
Beware not only its size, but its speed and guileful attacks as well.
If it has yet to be rolled out, there may be a weak point. Let's hold firm and try to discern one.
Right. We won't have a shot in hell otherwise. Give it all you've got, Arkwright Solutions! Shizuna, Yorda, same goes for you two.
Come on! May the breath of battle fill the fray!
Ion, Eon, Aeon, I don't care as long as it can put up a fight.
This works out, actually. Gives me the chance to show an Anguis what a new enforcer can really do!
Impressive, comparatively speaking. You have scored higher than anticipated, even after taking your cumulative experience into account. Nevertheless, it would seem I made the correct choice in designing this machine to have even higher combat power than McBurn.
Unbelievable. Of all the reckless standards to shoot for.
The Society's strongest member. Or so everyone keeps claiming. You've met him before, right, Master?
Yes. He is not what I would strictly call human. A walking calamity would be the more fitting descriptor.
I've heard a fair few particulars myself. A report on him melting an ion in the blink of an eye comes to mind.
The more I learn, the more nutso this guy sounds.
What I wouldn't give to meet face to face. Or better yet, head to head.
Indeed. McBurn is yet another individual who exists precisely halfway outside the laws by which Zemuria operates. He may act humanesque, but his essential nature is interminably foreign from ours. To use a comparison, it is much akin to the demon lord you harbor, Van Arkride.
Demon Lord?
Bastard! What do you know about that?
Oh, nothing extensive, rest assured, though the myriad speculations it spurs are an abundant source of intrigue. I must question in return, however, the extent of your knowledge about this world. What exactly was the great collapse that transpired 1,200 years ago? Why are we unable to reach the ends of the Earth, no matter the distance one travels by sea? How is it that artifacts remain unanalyzable, regardless of the methods employed? The clues to answering those queries and more lie just beyond here, within the abyssal stratum.
You can't be serious.
A primal ground. Or dare I say a place that exceeds even that?
Why would Marduk have such a thing sealed away here? And could it hold information on my past?
Yeah, though I get the feeling there's something beyond even Marduk at work here. Mare Bear's true identity is probably in there too. But if all that's really the case, then... Just to be sure, does this mean it can also unveil who you really are, F. Novartis?
Now that you mention it, Van...
There are barely any details about him out there, huh?
Even the Guild doesn't understand how his archaisms and other technologies always seem to be several steps ahead of modern civilization. Yet it doesn't seem to be the result of him making use of artifacts.
However much he's employed that covert engineering network of his, the 13 factories alone can't sufficiently explain his inventions.
I've got a hunch the nitty-gritty of that is what this whole thing was all about.
Yes, very much so. You've not the faintest idea how long I've spent waiting, yearning for this moment. And oh, how alienating it's been. As though the world... No. As though history itself were denying me at every turn. Can you truly claim to comprehend such unmitigated solitude?
That's...
Stage 0 analysis of Garden Abyssal Stratum complete. Specified data sample approximating 0.0000000001% of total volume successfully salvaged.
Aha! Eureka! No need for suspense, Mars 3. Read it aloud for us here and now.
Read what aloud?
Well, I think we're just about to find out.
Personal data extracted from Septian calendar year 1154 of Grand Archive, cycle 19,998. Name, Furio Novartis. Place of birth, North Central Zemuria, Lamont State. The sole immediate disciple of Orbital Technology founder Claude Epstein. Issues over his research approaches led to his expulsion during this year. After subsequently severing ties with his mentor, he then immersed himself in his own independent research.
I found it! I finally found it! There truly was no mistaking it. I was there, just as I had known all along!
Impossible! You, the only direct disciple of Professor Epstein? Why would it even say that? What about Gran and the others?
What's more, if memory serves, 1154 is the year Professor Epstein passed away.
Would that make you his unofficial student? Or else, could it be?
The pieces are coming together. And man, they are not disappointing.
So, this is what the solitary rung recorded in the Book of Ladder referred to.
Just look at you all, wholly ignorant of the significance this validation holds to me. By contrast, I, having gained this newfound insight, now grasp the eternal recurrence plan in its entirety. Accordingly, my next natural step is to present myself on the surface and interfere with Gramhart's plan.
I think not, Novartis.
Sweet, merciful. What are you doing here?
I just heard a voice in my head.
Sounded like a woman's.
Could it be?
Ix and I. We only ever met her once.
To think she would truly present herself here.
Novartis. You ought recall the bylaws imposed on the Anguis. I have shown forbearance turning a blind eye to this blackened castle. Do you intend to repay that by reneging on the agreement I struck with President Gramhart?
Perish the very thought. I may have said interfere, but what I meant was assist with...
That will not do either. He and his collaborators must carry matters through by their own hands. Whether you have a role to assume will be contingent on the results of their efforts.
But I...
Doubtless, it was elating to arrive at the answer you had sought at such length. Nevertheless, I suspect you were so engrossed in the matter as to forgo over a month's worth of repose. Slumber now for the time being, that I may entreat your aid once more hereafter.
Grandmaster, such kind words are wasted on me. Victory is yours. I relinquish my claim on the Grim Garden. As for the Abyssal Stratum, I shall leave it unlocked behind me. What follows will hinge on today's outcome.
whether by way of introduction or of reacquaintance. I am the head of Ouroboros, she who they call the Grandmaster. It has been merely days since our last shared presence, Yorda. But you, Ren, I scarce recognize. It was after the Oriole incident we last spoke, correct?
That's right. It's been quite some time, Grandmaster. I believe it was just before I left the Society that you materialized before me.
You don't say. Was that how it went with Ix, too?
Yes, although I cannot divulge the words exchanged between us.
Figures. I won't bother asking then.
Awful scrupulous for the head of a snake. Not that it's any news, but I'm Van Arkwright, Spriggan for hire. Schwarzer, Graham, and the others probably would have raised a whole lot more of a ruckus over this.
Alas, they are not present. There is but myself having audience with all of you. That, too, is an inevitability, O wanderer on the threshold of the darkness before daybreak.
How?
After hearing your name so many times, I had hoped we could one day meet.
But I get the impression you're just here for a few quick words, huh?
Indeed, Silver Princess. My greetings extend to you, Beauty's Blade, and the erstwhile Roaring Lion. As well as the Priestess of Flames, Prodigy of Longport, Marduk Concierge, Angelic Vessel, and current iteration of the Phantom Thief Grimcat. Though the words that ought be woven number many, to bewilder you is not my intention. First, witness the fate looming ahead, confront it, and reach your decision.
Sounds reasonable enough.
See to the Professor, Ulrika.
Oh, say less, G-Master! Heike shook and humbled to have you hit me up. Come on now, on your feet, Prof. Crashing here will just catch you a cold. I'll help you log out, so wakey, a hot sec, okay? Grats on the 100% clear, by the way. I'm still in your corner, ride or die.
I look forward to our next encounter. At the end of the heavens turning.
Final Guardian vanquished. Grimgarten, 9th domain. Liberation secured. All Grimgarten domains successfully conquered. We eagerly await your future endeavors.